Have you ever felt strange about your own body? You eat regular meals, you exercise consistently, you don't have any significant chronic illnesses, but still, going upstairs, you're out of breath. Walking for less than 10 minutes, your legs already start to feel tired, and every morning you wake up feeling like you've been jogging all night. You tell yourself, it must be old age. Then you nod and accept it as inevitable. But is that really true? Or have we mistakenly believed something that is silently draining our strength? You've always believed that fruit is good for the heart, good for the skin, good for digestion. But have you ever thought, is fruit good for muscles? No one talks about this. No advertisements mention it, because everyone assumes fruit is beyond suspicion. Yet the more you eat, the more tired you feel. The more you eat, the heavier your legs and stiffer your knees feel. So, could something be hidden by that goodness? The truth is, not all fruits are suitable for the body after age 60, because at this point, your metabolism is no longer what it was 30 years ago. Your body doesn't process sugary foods the same way, and muscle tissue, which has been weakening day by day, is even less likely to recover if you consume the wrong food groups. It's not because fruit is bad, but because the way we consume it is no longer suitable for a body that is slowing down. And that's why I'm here today, not to make you give up fruit, but to help you re-examine 7 types of fruit that you thought were good, but maybe the reason you're silently losing muscle every day. I won't just point out the culprits and stop there. I will analyze, why are they harmful, what mechanisms in the body are affected, and what simple changes can reverse that situation. Let's start with the most popular fruit, a soft, convenient sweet fruit that appears in most older adults' snacks. Ripe bananas. Good or bad for leg strength after age 60. Bananas are always on the list of elderly-friendly foods. They're soft, easy to digest, no complicated peeling needed, no vigorous chewing required. An ideal light snack after a meal, or sometimes even replacing breakfast altogether. But let's pause for a moment. Have you noticed? After days of eating 2 to 3 bananas continuously, you start to feel your legs tire more quickly? On short walks, do you feel your calves are a bit heavy, your knees a little weak? You might be loading your body with more than just one type of sugar. Why can bananas weaken muscles? The problem isn't the banana itself. The problem is the timing and how you eat it. Once your body has passed age 60, ripe bananas, the kind with black spots or that are soft and fragrant, have a medium glycemic index, GI, ranging from 51 to 62. That means, when you eat such a banana, your blood sugar rises quickly, even if you don't feel it. Immediately, insulin, the hormone that transports sugar into cells, has to be released to process it. And when insulin fluctuates too often, the body starts to become resistant. And this is where muscles are affected. Muscles need insulin to bring amino acids, the building blocks for tissue regeneration, inside muscle cells. But when insulin resistance occurs, this process slows down. You eat enough protein, but your muscles don't receive it, and they gradually weaken, silently. Do you know how eating bananas can be harmful? Eating them on an empty stomach, especially after light exercise like walking. Eating them as the sole snack, without accompanying protein, fiber, or healthy fats. Eating overripe bananas. The riper they are, the faster the sugar is converted. The result, blood sugar rises, then drops. Energy goes up, then crashes, and muscles are no longer nourished properly. So how should we eat bananas correctly? No need to eliminate bananas, but use them more intelligently. Only 1 banana per day, eaten after a main meal containing protein, lean meat, eggs, tofu, or combined with unsalted nuts, like almonds, walnuts, to slow down sugar absorption. Avoid eating them in the evening or on an empty stomach. A little tip: choose bananas that are just ripe, still slightly green at the ends, instead of the soft black spotted ones. They won't be as sweet, but their impact on insulin will be much milder. Bananas are a natural gift, but at the wrong time, used the wrong way, they can become an obstacle preventing your body from recovering after a day of activity. If you've ever thought, I don't eat anything unhealthy, why do my legs keep getting weaker? Then perhaps the healthiest foods are the first place you need to reconsider. Please continue with me, because the second fruit is even worse than bananas. Not only sweet, but also empty calories that leave muscles with nothing to recover with. That is, jackfruit. There are days when you just need a few jackfruit segments after dinner. Fragrant, sweet, melting right in your mouth. No one thinks that's wrong. Many even consider jackfruit nourishing, helping to improve appetite, provide lasting fullness, and few suspect it's related to the weakening of the legs. But the body after age 60 doesn't react the same as it did at 30. And even those seemingly healthy fruits, if eaten at the wrong time or in the wrong way, can silently cause muscles to lose the firmness and endurance you once had. Jackfruit, compared to many fruits, has a very high natural sugar content. Just about 6 to 8 segments are equivalent to 30 to 35 grams of sugar, the same as a can of soda. The sugar here is mainly fructose and glucose. When it enters the bloodstream quickly, it triggers the pancreas to secrete insulin to process it. If you eat it after sitting for a long time, or don't exercise afterward, the unused sugar will turn into visceral fat, especially accumulating around the liver, muscle tissue, or metabolic organs. The consequence, muscles don't receive enough nutrients, while excess energy causes mild inflammation, fatigue, making you feel heavy after eating, and especially muscle fatigue, even without doing anything strenuous. What's worse is that jackfruit has almost no protein, no anti-inflammatory compounds, and doesn't support muscle synthesis like berries or kiwi. It's empty calories, providing a feeling of fullness, but not nourishing aging muscle tissue that is increasingly prone to weakening with age. So what if you still want to eat jackfruit? No need to completely abstain, but eat jackfruit as a light indulgence, 1 to 2 small segments used after a main meal containing protein, not eaten in the late afternoon or evening, and absolutely not used as a snack to replace meals. If you notice that after days of eating a lot of jackfruit, your legs feel more wobbly, your thighs tremble slightly when standing for a long time, or you recover poorly after grocery shopping or gardening, then it's very likely that jackfruit is preventing your muscles from getting the conditions they need to recover. You see, not every sweet fruit is good for older adults. And now that we have a better understanding of jackfruit, we will move on to fruit number 3, sweet grapes, a small fruit that can affect muscle strength and the joint system if consumed incorrectly. Are you ready? There's a real truth. Grapes are one of those rare fruits that are both visually appealing and easy to eat, and they always appear on party tables, as snacks, or on fruit platters for dessert every day. You might be thinking, what harm can grapes do? I only eat a few dozen at a time. They're mildly sweet and refreshing. And it's that feeling of harmlessness that inadvertently causes many people to eat slightly more than necessary. No one suspects that gentle sweetness comes from a rather high amount of fructose. And fructose, when it enters the body after age 60, isn't processed as smoothly as it was in younger years. Unlike glucose, fructose doesn't go directly into the bloodstream to nourish muscles. It has to be processed by the liver first. And if you eat too many grapes, especially red grapes and seedless grapes, which are very sweet, the liver of older adults can become overloaded, leading to the production of more uric acid. Uric acid isn't just a problem for joints, it also directly affects the small muscle tissues around the knees, ankles, and neck and shoulders. You might feel your thighs tire quickly when walking. You have to stop and rest halfway up the stairs. Or sometimes, just a slight feeling of loss of strength in your legs after a meal with a lot of grapes. It doesn't stop there. When blood sugar rises quickly after eating grapes, insulin also has to be secreted more to maintain balance. But if the body is no longer as sensitive to insulin as before, a common condition in people over 60, then the sugar won't be transported to the muscles for fuel. That is, you eat to have energy, but your muscles can't use that energy. They are silently starved. And the consequences are poor recovery after walking, feeling exhausted after light housework, muscle weakness, even without strenuous exercise. So is it necessary to avoid grapes completely? But you have to change how you eat them. Eat only about 10 to 15 grapes at a time. Don't eat the whole bunch continuously, even if it feels light on your stomach. Eat them after a main meal containing protein or nuts to slow down sugar absorption. Absolutely do not eat grapes when sitting for a long time, watching TV, or in the evening, because at that time the sugar isn't used but will be stored or cause insulin fluctuations. Something few people know, resveratrol, a valuable compound that fights muscle aging, is in the grape skin, not the flesh. So if you eat grapes, eat the skin too, but in small amounts as a nutritional seasoning, not the main dish. And if grapes are a sweet fruit that is gentle but easily causes muscle fatigue, then the next type is intensely sweet, juicy, and seemingly even healthier. But it has the potential to create a blood sugar shock if eaten at the wrong time, and directly affects the endurance of the legs. We will talk about lychee right after this. On hot summer days, nothing is more refreshing than a few cool, fresh lychees, quickly peeled, easily eaten, feeling like they recharge your energy. However, if you pay close attention, there are days after eating lychees, especially in the afternoon, when your body suddenly feels more sluggish, your legs tire more quickly, or you have difficulty sleeping deeply at night. That's not a coincidence. What in lychees causes the body to react like that? Lychees are a fruit rich in simple sugars, mainly glucose and sucrose. In about 150 grams of lychees, 10 to 12 fruits, you've consumed 30 grams of sugar, equivalent to 7 to 8 teaspoons of sugar, without even feeling like you're eating something sweet. And when you eat lychees on an empty stomach or eat a lot in a short period, your blood sugar will spike, followed by a surge in insulin. In young people, this isn't a concern, but for older adults, rapid insulin increases disrupt the mechanism of muscle protein synthesis. Excess sugar isn't used properly. It turns into visceral fat. Repeated blood sugar fluctuations gradually weaken muscle reflexes, especially in the legs, knees, and ankles. Have you ever experienced, after a dessert of 5 to 6 lychees, even a short walk makes your thighs feel strangely tired, or a feeling of slight leg trembling, weakness, even after light morning exercise? That's because the body can't utilize the sugar from lychees to regenerate muscle tissue. Instead, the sugar causes mild inflammation in soft tissues, reducing the ability to recover after exercise, a very dangerous factor if you are facing the risk of muscle loss, sarcopenia. And that's not all. A study in The Lancet, 2017, warns lychees, when eaten on an empty stomach, can cause reactive hypoglycemia due to the presence of hypoglycin A and MCPG, two compounds that affect glucose metabolism, especially in people with weak livers and slow metabolism, like most people over 60. So how to eat lychees correctly? Limit to about 5 to 6 fruits at a time. Don't eat them as a main dish or to replace snacks. Always eat them after a meal containing protein or fiber, to slow down sugar absorption. Absolutely do not eat them on an empty stomach, as this is when insulin is most likely to fluctuate sharply. Avoid eating them in the evening, as they can easily disrupt blood sugar and affect sleep. Lychees aren't bad, but they can easily cause unwanted reactions if eaten at the wrong time or in excess, especially for people who already show signs of muscle fatigue, mild joint pain, and reduced mobility. Controlling the amount of lychees eaten each day is worthwhile, because leg strength isn't lost in one fall, but gradually disappears from seemingly harmless daily habits. If you're ready, we'll continue with fruit number 5, ripe mangoes, sweet, fragrant, and creamy, but which can block the muscle tissue recovery process if eaten at the wrong time. Try to remember, have you ever eaten ripe mangoes in the evening, as a dessert, and the next morning felt unusually tired, your legs heavy, or didn't sleep deeply? You might have thought it was due to the weather, too much exercise the day before, or just old age. But the truth is, mangoes, if not eaten correctly, can block the muscle protein synthesis process, preventing the body from recovering after a day of activity. The reason lies in the sugar and insulin response. An average ripe mango, approximately 200 grams edible portion, contains 35 to 45 grams of simple sugars, mainly glucose and sucrose. This is a very high amount, equivalent to 9 to 10 teaspoons of sugar. So what happens? Similar to other high glycemic fruits, blood sugar rises very quickly. Insulin is forced to secrete more to process it. Sudden insulin increase reduces the efficiency of protein synthesis in muscle tissue. Protein consumed isn't activated to build muscle, leading to silent muscle weakness. In particular, according to the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging, 2021, prolonged insulin fluctuations can inhibit the synthesis of myosin and actin, two essential proteins in muscles. When these are lacking, muscles will thin, weaken, and tire easily, even without strenuous exercise. What is the most common mistake when eating mangoes? It's the wrong timing. Eating mangoes on an empty stomach, sugar is absorbed too quickly. Insulin spikes sharply, disrupting metabolism. Eating mangoes after exercise, when muscles need protein but you're providing all sugar. Eating mangoes in the evening, blood sugar fluctuates, disrupting sleep, making it difficult for muscles to recover. The consequences are legs tire quickly, even with very light walking, difficulty sleeping deeply, or waking up feeling heavy, a feeling of weakness in the thighs, slight leg trembling when standing up, even though you thought you ate adequately. So how can you still enjoy mangoes without affecting your muscles? You should only eat 1/4 to 1/2 a fruit at a time, equivalent to about 80 to 100 grams. Always eat them after a main meal containing protein, like chicken, tofu, boiled eggs. Do not eat mangoes before sleeping or immediately after exercise. Combine with plant-based protein, like walnuts, chia seeds, unsweetened Greek yogurt, to slow down sugar absorption. A gentler way to consume them: slice moderately ripe mangoes thinly, mix with nut butter, plus a few flax seeds, creating a balanced energy snack, without causing blood sugar spikes or muscle loss. Mangoes aren't the enemy, but for older adults, they are a fruit that needs to be used like a spice, not the main dish. Because the body after 60 no longer processes sugar like it did in younger years. And every time you accidentally overeat, it's another time your muscles are starved. Your mobility decreases without any clear warning signs. Now, we will move on to fruit number 6. Watermelon, a fruit that seems like the healthiest, lots of water, refreshing. But it contains a sky-high glycemic index, which can cause muscles to lose strength after just a few seemingly harmless snacks. In the sweltering heat, a few slices of cool watermelon seem like the most pleasant treat. Not fatty, not oily, not sharply sour. In fact, many people even use watermelon as a light afternoon snack, thinking, "It's all water, it's fine." But the truth is, that feeling of "it's fine" is the most dangerous thing. Watermelon has a GI ranging from 72 to 76, in the highest group among common fruits. What does that mean? Just a small portion, approximately 150 grams, can cause blood sugar to spike within just 20 to 30 minutes. According to the journal Nutrients, 2020, prolonged insulin resistance weakens protein synthesis, reduces lean muscle mass, and increases the risk of muscle loss in people over 60, even when the diet is still sufficient in protein. The problem isn't the amount of protein you eat, but the body's ability to absorb and use that protein, which is disrupted when insulin fluctuates sharply. And watermelon, even though it doesn't taste as intensely sweet as candy, is still one of the biggest culprits in causing these fluctuations. In addition, watermelon contains almost no fiber, no protein, and is severely lacking in B vitamins, magnesium, or zinc, factors that help rebuild muscle after age 60. The result? Sugar enters quickly, nothing to hold it back. The body absorbs it quickly, a sugar shock, but can't use it. Fatigue appears even without doing much. The ability to recover after exercise is slowed down. So what do we need to do so that watermelon is no longer a sweet trap for muscles? Eat only one small cup, approximately 150 grams at a time, and not every day. Always eat it after a main meal containing protein or fiber, like fish, beans, green vegetables. Avoid eating it in the evening or when sitting for long periods without exercise. If you feel leg fatigue after a sweet meal, try stopping watermelon for 1 to 2 weeks and observe the change. Watermelon isn't a toxic culprit, but for the body after age 60, it's like a sweet substance that easily causes disruption without leaving clear traces. If used incorrectly, it doesn't nourish muscle tissue, but causes muscles to lose strength, recover slowly, and tire easily, even with very light exercise. If you're still interested, we'll continue with fruit number 7, durian, a king of tropical fruits, but also one with the highest sugar and fat content, easily pushing the body faster towards insulin resistance, muscle loss, and weakened metabolism. There's no denying it. Durian is delicious, very special. Just one segment, soft, rich, fragrant, melting right on the tongue. And precisely because it's too delicious, it becomes a regular dessert for many older adults, especially during durian season. But the problem is, it's not as gentle as its soft appearance suggests. Why is durian considered a double whammy? First, this fruit has an extremely high sugar content. One durian segment, at 100 grams, contains 27 to 30 grams of natural sugars, fructose plus sucrose. Eating a lot or 2 to 3 segments at once easily causes a sharp increase in blood sugar. Second is the surprisingly high fat content. This fruit contains up to 13 grams of fat per 100 grams, mostly saturated and monounsaturated fats. This makes durian energy-dense but poor in muscle-building nutrients. Combined, we have a fruit that is both high in sugar, causing a strong insulin response, and high in fat, hindering protein absorption, slowing down muscle regeneration. According to research from Scientific Reports, 2024, and Frontiers in Immunology, 2022. The combination of a diet high in simple sugars and saturated fats increases oxidative stress, promotes low-grade chronic inflammation, a factor confirmed to directly affect musculoskeletal health in older adults. And if you've ever wondered, why do I eat a lot and sleep enough but still feel weak legs? This could be the silent reason. eating the right foods, but at the wrong time, in the wrong way. But the scary thing is the feeling of being deceived. After eating durian, you might feel satisfied, warm stomach, full for a long time, but a few hours later, your legs start to feel slightly tired. Your knees feel heavy after standing for a while. Your physical strength recovers slowly, not as obvious as pain, just a small, silent, continuous decline in mobility. And when accumulated over many weeks, many months, we find ourselves not as agile as before. So is there a way to still eat durian without harming muscles? The maximum limit should be one segment approximately 100 grams at a time. Do not eat more. Only eat it after a main meal rich in protein and fiber. Avoid eating it alone or as a snack. Absolutely do not eat durian in the evening, a time when insulin increases but metabolic activity decreases. Combine with unsalted nuts, like almonds, walnuts, to balance the fat content. And if possible, do not eat durian continuously for many days a week. Durian is a wonderful taste experience, but for older adults it should be considered a moderate pleasure, not a regular dessert, because the richness and sweetness of durian do not come with muscle-recovering nutrients, but rather burden metabolism, especially when the muscle system has gradually weakened and needs to be protected every day. Now, we have gone through 7 types of seemingly healthy fruits, but which can cause you to lose muscle, have tired legs, and recover slowly. A banana that seems gentle, but disrupts insulin if eaten on an empty stomach. A fragrant jackfruit segment, but only provides empty calories, not helping to rebuild muscle. Grapes, thin-skinned, mildly sweet, but accumulate uric acid if eaten in excess. Lychee, mango, watermelon, durian, all delicious. But that very sweetness, if at the wrong time, silently pulls you away from steady legs. But if those mistakes are what weaken you day by day, then those very small adjustments can help you regain strength silently but surely. You don't need to give up fruit. You just need to choose again, at the right time, in the right way, and right for your body now. 1 golden kiwi each morning, instead of watermelon in the afternoon. A few blackberries, instead of a bunch of seedless grapes. A slice of green apple with nuts, instead of soft ripe mango late at night. That's all it takes. Enough to make your muscles silently thank you. If you've stayed with me until this point, then I believe you're not just watching the video, you truly want to understand your body and want to live more actively every day, no matter your age. And if today's content makes you realize something, please share it for your spouse, your mother, or your friend. Because sometimes a timely reminder can preserve healthy legs, preserve the most precious freedom, the ability to continue walking on your own. If you want to continue to accompany us, don't forget to press subscribe to the channel. We will be back with other helpful videos. See you again on a gentle but persistent journey to live a healthy old age in the wisest way.